Crypto kids, we've got a bearish signal flashing in the Telegram community. Last night, I posted a bear flag that has formed over the course of the past week. And with the updates and geopolitical tensions, we received a breakdown and then a retest, validating the importance of the pattern. And well, I see personally, Bitcoin goes still a little bit lower before we get a total upwards reversal. And that today, I want to brief you here on this update. Strait of Hormuz was the topic in question for the weekend. Turkey sadly lost another match. But that aside, the Strait of Hormuz is in very much the conversations amongst traders and capital investors because these are some serious advancements and downgrades that all took place over just 3 days, from Friday until Sunday. It's a must cover. We'll jump into WTI, how it's going to impact Bitcoin. Aside from our technical projections, we'll go into SpaceX, why I think this drop will continue for another year and a half, and end off with Michael Saylor purchasing Bitcoin and the way he's likely purchased that said Bitcoin. So stick around. It will be a great update to have covered on a Monday. If you do enjoy it, please do destroy the like button. It would mean so much to me. Keir Starmer seems to have revealed a statement. I wonder if he resigned. I wonder if he actually did resign as Prime Minister. I'm going to watch that after I finish this video. But you should watch a different video because I'll update you on Keir Starmer. Guys, we put our heart and soul into this interview, which I've conducted. Perhaps many of you don't know, but I've started a new format, the first ever in the cryptocurrency industry, called the Crypto Late Night Show. It's the first ever talk show anybody has done in cryptocurrency. And we're not doing it just like as a podcast style. We've literally done it in a $10 million studio with a monologue, with a live band, with incredible guests, with a sketch where I'm dressed up as a crypto chef, with a game called FOMO Button. Like, this is proper. If you find the time, I think you will feel super entertained. The whole point was to create an entertaining format in the bear market, which will keep you interested in the industry and have fun. I'll leave a link to it down in the description. Go ahead, check it out. There will also be a card popping at the top right-hand corner. Okay, Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin has the bear flag, and Bitcoin has very much retested the prior support line of this bear flag, got a rejection from it, which in standard terms says, hey, you're about to continue lower. I want to change your attention to a comparison of price, a fractal that I shared on my last BTC update, which was looking at the price from February until June, and then downscaling it to the June price action. Here is what I mean. Sometimes on an asset or between different assets, you will notice ways of which price has moved to be incredibly similar to what you're doing now. And that can create a foreshadow on what you can expect to happen later on. It's like a deja vu in trading. And the reason it occurs is because all trading is psychological. And us as humans, we repeat psychological patterns. There's only so much we can feel and react and do. Those tend to react. And the demonstration is via patterns that are formed with Japanese candlesticks. Look at February to June. You have a fake W pattern. On the daily, it's more visible. So I'll switch to the daily. So you have a W pattern, a fake W, because what really W's should do is it should propel you to further upwards price trajectory, mark the low, and boom, you're good to go. Maybe on the weekly it's better. Yeah, on the weekly it's much better. So you had that W, but you peaked out at 81. This is when I said, oops, we're about to fall hard. You fall hard, and now, we're in the small scale price action, which is the same, just like I stated, on a smaller scale. W pattern, you peak out, triple top. Actually, you can say that's a triple top. It's not the best of triple tops. This was also a triple top. Following the triple top, you fall down, get a bit of a consolidation, and technically we should drop lower if we were to follow that fractal. I don't like to look at only fractals to determine next steps for BTC or anything else. But when you add the bear flag retest and the state of geopolitics, it's far more reasonable to assume lower price moves than higher price moves. How am I trading it? See, it's nothing of a setup or a scenario that prompts me to long Bitcoin with leverage or short Bitcoin with leverage. The only thing that this chart tells me is that if we fall to $60,800 or grab liquidity, the most liquidity at the low at 59.1, then these are going to be two areas which I decide to buy Bitcoin aggressively. Most people make the mistake of assuming this is a mid-cycle correction for Bitcoin, which it's not. I mean, from a technical standpoint, you can see that a bear market, that's what we're in, is technically a sustained period of declining asset prices, traditionally marked by a drop of 20% or more from a recent peak. Well, Bitcoin had its recent peak at $126,000, roughly like 100-ish, 259 days ago now. This is a bear market. If you're looking for your mid-cycle correction, well, April of 2025 would count as one, or June of 2021 would count as one. This, when you break a bullish trend, is clearly a bear market. Why am I saying this? Because in bear markets, you have time. You've got time to buy Bitcoin cheap. It's not like, boom, you have this one opportunity and it's gone. No, I think 64 is a fantastic area of accumulation, but I don't feel FOMO. I'm definitely positioning myself to accumulate, and I've done so and I'm doing it already, but I don't have the FOMO to put just everything I have in USDT in Bitcoin at one set price. This is the mistake people make. And I think it's a good time to buy. I mean, you're at a very critical line of support. You have your bullish divergence, but all of those we covered before, so no need to jump into more details there. Crypto Kids, now ready to jump into the Strait of Hormuz, SpaceX, and MSTR, how Saylor bought more Bitcoin, but in my opinion, in a manner that is destructive for shareholders. We'll get into those. Before doing so, I must put forward a story that is the hottest and most important story in the cryptocurrency industry as of now. And sadly, it has plenty of misreporting, with even the largest news agency 6 days ago, a particular very large news agency that I can see from my office. They have an office right across the street. They've done a non-factual reporting that has put potentially millions of people in fear, and it's so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. And I'm delighted that Binance reached out and we're delivering this segment in partnership with Binance to share you what we really know. What is happening between Binance and Mica? If you have a Binance account in Europe, or if you are a crypto user in Europe, do watch this segment because it is very much relevant to you. Mica is the license in Europe of which where crypto exchanges by the 1st of July need to have if they want to continue servicing users in that demographic. Binance has been on a journey over the past 18 months, around the time it takes in Greece to get the license, 18 months to comply to the highest standard possible and get to the place where they can receive their license and serve their customers in a regulated, compliant manner. Remember, Binance is an ADGM license, the most vigorous license to be able to attain, and the most pro-crypto innovative and also protecting license that exists in the world in Abu Dhabi. They spend $200 million a year on compliance. They have over 1,500 roles for compliance, and they're the largest exchange in Europe. So for them, having Mica is a great thing. The large news agency said that Binance was set to lose on receiving Mica, which as of what we know today is not the presented facts. Binance says that their understanding is that the HCMC, the regulatory body in Greece, completed the review of the application and considered it compliant with Mica requirements, and that now it lies with the ESMA to say if it's good to go or if it's not good to go. They will update everyone by the 30th of June, and we'll have a clear path forward when we see what has happened, and Binance shares the official updates. Do not fall for any scam links, scam emails, scam news reportings. Make sure to follow the trusted Binance sources, because when they give the updates, then we will know how to react, or how European customers can react. Until then, if you're in the EU, if you have a Binance account, don't fall for scams, don't fall for false reportings, stick to official Binance channels. Fingers crossed they receive it and they can continue to provide services to European Union users. And if not, then your funds are still safe. You'll be able to access your funds, and there'll be a timeline given where you can make the shifts that are necessary. Until then, you can still use Binance in EU. You can access your funds. You can do whatever you want with it, and official updates will be followed shortly, and I will talk about it when we get it here on the Crypto Kid videos. Stay tuned. Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Navy mentioned on June the 20th that Hormuz was closed to all vessels. I checked marine traffic at the time. Didn't seem to be that way, but it was also breaking. Maybe it was subject to be changed in the hours that came after. Overall, traffic is nowhere near the 80 vessels per day. Pre-conflict, we're sitting at about 5. Around 5 is the number. The reason for closing the strait was violations in the Memorandum of Understanding, and President Trump stating, if you close the strait, you won't have a country, and you won't even make it back to nasty word. Like, it's horrible, 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 horrible. I can't believe the president of a nation is saying something as such, particularly in an era where you're traveling to Switzerland on Sunday to make commencements on the path forward to reach a conclusive deal, as what we have is only an MOU. He said that Trump said that he may have to take over the Strait of Hormuz. And of course, the Iranian delegation walks out in Switzerland. There was uncertainty. We didn't know if it would result to further escalations, God forbid, or de-escalation. But at the end of the night, early this morning, my time, a document was released it was a joint statement by Qatar, Iran, and Pakistan, saying that, okay, we're committed to get to the actual deal. We have a 60-day timeline, but everything is dependent on if the MOU is breached by other parties or not breached. If it's not going to be breached, I'm quite optimistic that we can get a conclusive, peaceful deal. Oil is trading at 75, so it's not really at the $100 mark. That would be the most concerning for inflation. It's a good sign. Markets have more information in general than what an individual has. So oil prices being low probably means that, okay, we're still in a good path to get to a pro peaceful deal. We can't speculate. Geopolitics is something that we can't do TA on. So as it develops, I will share you all the necessary details. SpaceX, I'm still not buying for another year and a half. We only have 4.9% of the shares in circulation, which will jump to 11.8% on the 8th of August to 96.9% in less than a year's time. You guys don't think that when those shares get unlocked, just like in crypto, people won't take profits? They will. That will suppress price action lower. The median IPO lost 50% of value in the first year of trading, and if you bought into the S&P, you would have doubly outperformed the IPO over 3 years. I'm going to buy in just after these unlocks, after the take profits, and my timeline is the end of 2027. Key inflation data comes out on Thursday. Saylor bought more Bitcoin last week. We will figure out in about an hour's time how he did it. My expectation is that he diluted shareholder value. The MNAV is below 1.5, so we can't sustainably raise from common A stock without hurting the shares. STRC has zero demand, meaning the only way that he could have bought was through diluting MSTR shares. So if he is doing that, then you're going to break below the head and shoulders pattern, and it's just not a good path forward for MSTR. I would much rather own Bitcoin than buying into one of Strategy's products today. But when Bitcoin reverses course and it's in a bull market, because MSTR is 2x Bitcoin in volatility, yeah, it makes so much sense to own MSTR, but not as of today, at least from where I'm standing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the update. I will see you all very soon. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.